Do you wish meeting times could just be automated so there's no back and forth? Well, if you're watching this video, then you're probably not using most of the trick that I'm about to share. Let me know in the comments below which you found useful, and let's get going. Now, you've received an email from Sarah who wants to review the campaign metrics. Now, the best way to do this is not just go back and forth to your calendar. All we can do is simply go to the email, go to the three dots, and we are going to create a meeting directly from the email. This prevents you going back and forth between the calendar and having to add all the people that are already on copy. This way, you'll be able to add everyone that's already on the email and you won't have to go back and forth. Now, another trick here is if you want to type in next Tuesday, you can easily do that and it shows up the Tuesday that comes up. You can even use things like 2 weeks on Wednesday, and that helps you bring up the date so that it's easy for you to be able to do this. Another couple of things that you can do over here is you can simply go to response options. If this time isn't suitable, you can allow them to propose new times. The feature you could use here is use the three dots here and go to dictation right here. Last Tuesday in March. Once you've done that, it really takes up the last Tuesday, so this is an easy way to also have a look at it. Now, say that your schedules are not matching up, what you can do is use a poll. And to do this, you go in and go to a new email. See here, you could just type in all the people that you want on your meeting. And this time we just want Sarah and Bob, and we are going to type in a review. Let's type in review meeting here. And what we can do is simply go across to our tab here to the poll. When we click onto the poll, you can see who is free at what time, and you can just add a few options, or you can even use this if you don't have access to anyone's actual calendar. So now you can see no one is really available here. You can change the date, and let's say that we want to do it on Tuesday, and you can see when everyone is available. So very easy to see optional, required, and who's available, who's not. We can add in a few options here and simply press next, and you can see the times when people are not available. Press next and you can enter the location right here, office. You can have it as a team option here and schedule the attendance when it's done. So there you go. Once it's done, it's done. Create the poll, and simple as that. So once everyone starts to go into and click into the polls, you can see where people are voting to go for the meeting. Once you click into the poll, you can see who can be voted, and if that's Sarah, you can just type in and you can just vote for your meeting. Take your calendar to the next level. What we need to do is add Microsoft bookings. It's so simple. And how do we do this? In the old version is we need to have an app that we need to go into. So let's go to apps here. Let's add an app. We're going to add a booking app. Now, in the newer versions of Outlook, it will natively be there under your settings, but with the older version, we just need to make sure we install it and we can use it the same way. Once you find Microsoft bookings, just simply click that in and install it. Once it's installed, you will have a very simple way to schedule all across your platforms with Microsoft 365. Now you can use it anywhere that you want. Once you've installed it, all you need to do is go across to your apps over here and you will be able to find it in your installed apps. Once you've clicked into it, you have a booking page. That's your very own booking page. You can even take the link and put that into an email so that you can have anyone book an appointment with you in the times that you choose. You have some predefined things here. We have 15-minute meeting, a 30-minute meeting, and you can create simply a meeting that you want. You can also have shared booking pages where you may have certain blocks that you want to get blocked. Let's start to create a custom meeting, create a meeting type. Once you have that, we can just put in a review meetings. And now if someone wants to come up and put in a review meeting from an internal category, you can use that. So book time to connect with me. We can put it as a Teams meeting. You can put it as any meeting that you want here. And you can even change the time if you want. Now you can also put it as a private. You can also have it as a public meeting if you wish to do so, and you can use this, for example, for suppliers or people that you want to book, or public with people that you want to have a look. Now you can use advanced options here, a buffering time, review, a minimum lead time and a maximum lead time. You can also set up email reminders and email follow-ups. So it's a very comprehensive way of using bookings. Once you have your booking, you can simply just take this and you can share it with whoever you want to, or you take that, you can have it only valid for one booking as well. Press copy and add it into your email and send it across. Now, say that you have 30-minute meetings or you have 60-minute meetings and you want to make sure that you are just in time to have a little break before the next. Simply just go back to File and Options, and in our options we have a number of different settings. So we go down to Calendar. Once we get to Calendar, we can see here shorten appointments and meetings. Now, early end, or you can have a late start, but an early end is pretty interesting. So if anything's less than an hour, it's a 5-minute break, and 10 minutes if it's more than an hour. Now, if you want to have a default reminder, you can have a 15 minutes, or if you want to be a little bit more tighter, you can add 10 minutes, 1 hour, 1 day, however you want to have your meetings. Press OK here. Now what we will do is go back to our meetings and see what happens. Once you open up your email, what you will find is that a 30-minute meeting is 10 to 10:25. Now, if you want to change any meeting timings, you can. If you go to about 1 hour, you will see that it finishes 10 minutes early as well. Now, if we want to change our work weeks, what we need to do is we can come back to our calendar here and our options, and we can change our start times from 8 o'clock to maybe want to start at 9 o'clock. We can do that, and we can change as well if we want to change our date here. Let's say that we only work until 3 o'clock. We can do that, and we only work Monday to Thursday. We can click on the dates that we want. First 4-day week, we have it here, and we can also click our start date from a Monday. If it's not a Sunday, this is the way that it has. You can also set your default duration. Right now it's set to 30 minutes, but say that you want it for an hour, you can easily do that as well. Once you come into your calendar view, you can see you only have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday as your work week, and you have the times from 8 until 4 o'clock, which is what we wanted to update. Now, say that you work in a company where you have teams all across the world or suppliers, and you want to arrange meetings on a frequent basis. You always want to know the right time zone that you're working towards. Back into our Outlook options, into calendar, if you scroll down, you will have a time zone option here. Now you can write here my time zone, or I'm in Dubai, so we are going to put in Dubai here. Add in the second time zone to London. Now let's just select that. So let's say that it is in right here, and we want a third time zone. Now let's type in New York, and let's see where New York is going to be. It's also going to be at -8. Here we go, US and Canada. Now all we need to do is press OK, and you will notice that your time zones will appear to the left hand side over here. So if you are arranging a time that is suitable for everyone during their working hours, you can start to see that you simply have to have a look at the times that are the working hours for different people in different locations. Say that you want to share your calendar, you simply go to your calendar, you right click here and go to sharing permissions. Once you go onto sharing permissions, you will be able to add somebody, and you can have them view none of the permissions to change it. You can view when they're busy, titles and locations. They can even have edit access if you have a PA or someone who's organizing your schedule with you. Back to our calendar options over here. Now, say that you're on vacation and you don't want to decline every single meeting that's coming in. Scroll all the way down and you can have auto accept or decline meetings. This can show you can automatically accept meeting requests and remove cancel meetings. You can decline a request when there is another meeting, or decline when there are other meetings available as well. So this is something that you can set as an accept or a decline rule, so that you don't have to manually go in and uncheck accept and decline one by one. Now, to see two different calendars side by side, you simply just check and uncheck the calendars. Now, another way to add and go into your options is right click here, go to calendar options, and here you can simply change all of the options back to a normal working week. So let's go first full week, and we're going to go back and add our working times all the way up until 6 p.m. That way we have somewhere where we can see what's happening. Press OK. Now that you have two of your calendars here, you have Sarah's birthday coming up on Tuesday that you don't want to miss. But without going through both calendars, all you can do is have this calendar extrapolate onto the other by pressing this arrow right here, and you can have both of your calendars in the same place that are just split by different colors. To remove it and make it separate, you simply use the arrow once again, and if you want to uncheck it, you can do that as well. Now, say that I wanted to have a look at different date that one of my colleagues is asking me about. So say that we want to do the 10th of April, you can go and we have a couple of different date options. So all you need to do is hold the control button. Let's click 10th of May here. Let's click 14th of May, and let's click on 31st, and that gives you 3 dates that you can easily choose over here. You can also highlight it over the next 2 weeks like that. You see the cursor goes towards the right, and you can then be able to see 2 weeks side by side to be able to see what schedule you can book together. Another great feature in Outlook Calendar is that if you want to categorize your meetings, let's say we want to categorize them in internal meetings, we'll leave them in a blue color, and we want to have maybe our supplier meetings in a different color, we simply right click, go to categorize, and we can simply go and change it into a purple color. Now we can change it into supplier meetings over here, and that way we know we can even add a shortcut if we want to. Now let's just press OK, and there you go, that changes it into a purple color, which makes it visually much better to have a look at. Now, the last thing I want to show you is how to view your email and your calendar at the same time without having to swap between both the windows. All you need to do is come across to your email, and then you simply highlight onto your calendar here. You can see your calendar. Now, what you can do is just open it here in a new window, and that way you will be able to have a look at what's happening here, and you can book things directly. Now, if you want to open this and you want it in a new window, you could also do that. And you can simply look at your email and look at your calendar at the same time so that you don't have to swap between both of the windows. Thank you for watching this video today, and I hope that you've learned something new that will save you time. Consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you next time.